I'm just looking at Tilda's face and just start laughing again.
Oh, have we got a story for you?
Have we got a story for you? Okay, the reason that we're laughing, and we've opened this little bonus content by laughing, is because we won the Silver Award for the best speech presenters at the ARIAs.
And we were second to Women's Hour, which has been on the air since 1946.
And the other people, you know, nominated Manveen Rana, who got bronze for Stories of Our Times podcast,
who
which
I think is
obviously
so good.
Huge. BBC Radio London, BBC Radio 5 Live, Jess Phillips MP. And we clinched that silver.
Who are we? So silly. No, we deserved it. You know what? Maybe we did deserve it. It was actually, I was sitting there just thinking, I can't believe I'm here on merit. I don't think I've ever had such severe imposter syndrome.
And then also you're talking about the people that were there, like Annie Mac, Emma Barnett, Greg James, Scott Mills, Vanessa Feltz. More on that later.
We ran into Jess Phillips in the loo after, and she congratulated us. We said we just felt completely shell-shocked. We didn't understand what the process had been behind the scenes that ended up with us being on that board. And she said, you know, you cannot have imposter syndrome. Tony Blair apparently said on air, he had no idea what imposter syndrome felt like. He had never experienced imposter syndrome in his life.
The interviewer said, oh, do you ever experience imposter syndrome? And he said, what's that? Can you imagine? Yeah, it was just an absolutely amazing night, and I'm really proud of us.
We do struggle a bit on the photography front, on the red carpet front. Helena basically had to push me onto the red carpet, and then we just can't figure out our height difference. If anyone has ideas about how to pose as a pair, you know, when I'm about twice as tall as Helena is.
Yes, okay. If anybody has any ideas for posing with someone who is 5'1" and 5... How tall are you?
9.
5'9". That's actually ridiculous.
You know, I was 5'9.5", but then I broke my back and now I'm 5'9".
This may be the only time I ever say this, but I'm so glad you broke your back.
Great. I will go back and tell my 21-year-old self, don't worry, Helena's going to be happy.
Because imagine that half an inch would just make everything so much worse. Yeah, we really haven't figured out our posing style. I mean, I banned Matilda from wearing heels higher than 2 inches for the arias.
Not a good look for me.
It didn't really make that much of a difference. It's still a ridiculous height difference. Tilda looks like a beanpole.
Okay, so tips, please, for posing with vast height differences that don't involve me squatting on the red carpet.
Well, I was thinking maybe you could take your shoes off and put them on your knees.
Great idea. Problem solved.
Okay. At the ceremony, we watched all the other awards, of course, and we heard about and met some absolutely amazing people. So, you know, we just wanted to give a little shout out to some of the people we met and some things that we're going to listen to now and have listened to. And we really hope that you will all listen to as well.
Oh, we had a really good dance with an incredible author. She's called Kate Rawson. I think this is her first professional commission for radio, and she won Best Fictional Storytelling for her piece Little Blue Lines, which was based on her own experience of miscarriage. But it's funny listening. She's just from speaking to her in person, you just know that is going to be such a beautiful and such a memorable listen. But also in that category was The Old Man in the Boat, which if you have kids is something you have to go and listen to, because the team behind that, they were also wonderful. And, you know, a lot of fun on the dance floor, which is apparently my criteria for listening recommendations.
We also nominated on our own for Best Dressed and Best Dressed and most important ethos. We Are Voices podcast.
And I actually have come across this network before, the Voices Network, which is part of the Red Cross, British Red Cross, I believe. Because when, as I may have talked about before on the podcast, I helped set up an organisation called Refugee Media Centre, which is about promoting refugee voices in the news. We were directed instantly to connect with Voices, who are a group of refugees, asylum seekers, migrants, equipped to represent that issue in the press as experts through lived experience. If you want to hear that immigration story told right, then that is definitely one to go to. Hopefully they'll give you some style tips while you're there, because, oh my God, they looked
sensational.
Amazing.
We also hung out with the amazing team from Mags Creative, who, you know, are really just like a great young, fresh kind of team who are creating original audio content, and they won big, right?
They have a podcast called Life Sentence, which is about the climate crisis. If you want to learn more about the climate crisis, then that's something to head to. Yeah, we're all about outsiders from the mainstream coming in and sweeping some of these awards. So we were pretty excited about that win.
Now, of course, sadly, the one person I didn't meet was the one and only Vanessa Feltz. And the reason that I'm talking about this is because my mum was texting me all night. Like, I swear she didn't even really care that I was nominated. It was more like, have you met Vanessa Feltz?
You did meet Rylan, though.
I did meet Rylan. And, you know, we did talk about some poor media coverage to do with Rylan back on the episode about drugs and the way the mainstream media reports on drugs. I didn't tell him that. I just told him he was a very good host, which he was.
Speaking of white lines, his teeth. Oh my God. I was like I had a religious experience. I'd seen the light. They were stunning.
His teeth were absolutely stunning.
He was rattling through the awards like, please, can we just get to the after party?
He did very, very well to keep it all going. I mean, that guy is, you know, I mean, I already said he was a natural treasure back on the other episode, but he's also a comedy legend. There, I said it. Okay, well, look, we are actually, you know, we had such a great time and we are just so happy.
It is shell-shocking, but it is really, really humbling to have this recognition for Media Storm after just a few months. We are so passionate about what we're trying to do here, and it's great to think that that might be resonating.
And, you know, we set up Media Storm to try to counter the imbalance in who is being platformed by the mainstream media, because certain minority groups, they find themselves time and again caught in the eye of the media storm, and they're spoken about, but they're so rarely spoken to. Their lives and their rights, and sometimes their very existence, as we've heard, are put up for debates.
We're trying to reframe how lived experience is valued in journalism as a source of expertise and not just anecdote or emotion, to recenter debates around the people who actually have to live with their consequences. So thank you to the ARIAs, and thank you to all of you who have listened for supporting us in that goal and being part of that project.
I know we won for best speech presenters, but it's all about the people we're interviewing. Our voices are just an accessory to theirs, to everyone who's come on Media Storm, spread their lived experience and told their stories. Our voices are nothing without them.
On that note, we have another little announcement.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Which is that we have a season 2 in the works, and we will be back on your feeds in June on Thursdays again with main episodes every other Thursday. It's going to be a 6-month run, so we have a lot of amazing topics lined up for you with some bonus content in the in-between weeks. Helena, what are some of those topics?
We're going to be looking at the climate crisis. We're going to be looking at ageism and the intersection between ageism and sexism. We're going to be looking at polyamory, which we're so excited about. We're going to be looking at abortion, which is very relevant right now as we're recording this episode.
We are going to be looking at radicalization and how that happens. We're going to have some fairly controversial topics, which we're going to have to pitch to you in fuller detail when the time comes. And I'll give you one more to work with. We're going to be working with some members of the Traveller community for one of our special investigations. So make sure that you tune in June, every Thursday.
We're so excited. And so if you have any ideas of people we should be speaking to, or groups or minorities that we should be talking to, please get in touch. We're at Media Storm Pod on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Yes, we made a TikTok. We're going to be making more. Matilda, get your head out of your hands.
Sorry.
We are going to be making more.
TikTok Tilda is in the universe now.
Make sure you follow and subscribe Media Storm for Series 2 coming away next month.
Thanks for listening.